Eleuthera police confirming that body parts were found on the island of Eleuthera today, and the necessary DNA testing will be carried out to determine whether it's that of missing tourist Jonathan Brussel. The 19-year-old was swept away by waves near the glass window bridge on Monday morning. He and another man were submerged. However, the other man managed to escape. Officer in charge Superintendent Stephen Adderley says he spoke with the father of the teen, advising him of what they discovered. The body parts were discovered around 11 this morning near the glass window bridge. A force of nature cutting off vehicular traffic between Central and North Eleuthera, now a mighty engineering force making things right. In a tremendous undertaking, engineers from the Ministry of Works were on the ground today repairing that 25-foot wide channel responsible for essentially cutting Eleuthera in half. And tonight, the good news is that the bridge is open. Tashina Robinson-Blair reports.
Monstrous waves from the Atlantic Ocean split the island's major thoroughfare, the Queens Highway, in two earlier this week, leaving behind an extensive damage, a chasm measured to be around 8 feet deep. To mitigate any fallout from inconvenience international travelers, the Ministry of Tourism partnered with Bahamasair to transport visitors between Central and North Eleuthera. According to Tyrone Sawyer, Senior Director of Airlift Development, the goal is to preserve the airlift and the visitor experience.
For instance, if a customer comes to North Eleuthera, there's no way to get to the Cove or no way to get to Governor's Harbor. They then make their own arrangement. They in turn then make their own return arrangement, which may involve a flight into Nassau, and they take off from Nassau back to where they came from. So as a result of that, the flight by Delta from its Atlanta hub, that's where all of these flights coming from Europe, from North America, from all over the world into Atlanta, gives Eleuthera the same amount of market access that both Nassau and Grand Bahama enjoy. And that's also true of Abaco, and that's also true of Exuma. So all of a sudden, if those flights, people are no longer going on it, it affects the load factor performance of the flight. So what then happens, we lose the flight, or we get less flights, and all of a sudden we've lost the airlift and the contribution to the economy.
The Ministry of Tourism has reached out to Delta, American Airlines, Silver Airways, and to private aircraft to alert those affected passengers. Visitors headed to Harbor Island are unaffected.
They're now aware that steps have been taken. It gives them more confidence in what the Ministry of Tourism is doing to help them preserve the performance of their flights. And within the next few days, the word would have spread, and they would have found a way to communicate to their passengers through the Bahamasair ticket counter at the respective airports, and where both Delta and American and also Silver have their own desks. So they would collaborate with the Bahamasair counter as well as the Bahamas Tourist Office staff on site.
Bahamasair added a new leg Friday to both its morning and afternoon flight to facilitate international travelers in making their connections. The first Bahamasair flight touched down at 9:30 Friday morning, transporting visitors from Governor's Harbor to North Eleuthera, connecting them to their non-stop flights for their return trip home. A second afternoon flight from North Eleuthera to Governor's Harbor, connecting the inbound passengers to their accommodations south of the rupture on the Eleuthera Highway in Gregorytown. Bahamasair is set to run those flights daily until the rupture in the highway has been repaired. At last reports, those repairs were set to be completed Friday evening. For ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.